Hello, everyone. This is Independent Conservative. Thank you all for joining me once again. I want to start off with this video by saying first, hopefully you guys can hear me. I'm going to be talking real low. My voice is really raspy right now because I'm over prayer in my church. So, during the services, I have to lead people in prayer. And my church is a Pentecostal church. So if anyone is watching this video and you are a Christian and you have the Pentecostal denominational upbringing, you know how we are, okay? So my voice is going to be a little raspy here, so it may go up and down every now and then. So hopefully you guys can hear me. So I want to apologize for that. But thank you once again for joining me. I really want to talk about something here that is not based on any articles or the news or anything like that. It is news, but I'm not going to read any articles. I just want to give you guys what I believe is happening and what I believe is coming from my heart. A lot of this is based on my reading and studying down through the years from people such as Russ Dizdar, Paul McGuire, Michael Lake, and other Christian researchers that have dug deep into this issue in a way that I couldn't even conceive of, But I am starting to see this darkness being elevated. Now, this video will be a mixture of politics and spirituality. So for those of you who may be watching this video that are Christians, who are true born-again Christians, I believe I'm going to assume that many of you guys will understand that. For those of you who are not, I don't really expect you to understand that, but I'm just making you aware. I'm more than likely going to be mentioning biblical principles. I'm more than likely going to be mentioning spiritual things because I think that there's something darkly spiritual going on here. Now, I'm pretty sure that some of you guys already know, based just on the title of this particular video and based on the spirit of where we are right now in our country, what I'm going to be talking about. And I've noticed many other YouTube content creators have spoke on this issue. So I'm not trying to do this because they're doing it. I already felt this from day one, the trajectory that's taking place in our country. Ever since the death and the murder, rather, of conservative evangelist Charlie Kirk, the things that I have been seeing and hearing from people on TikTok videos, Instagram videos, and others is just beyond the pale. I am seeing, and I know you all are seeing it as well, I am seeing and hearing things that is frightening to me. It's to the point where I'm thinking, okay, they're just playing around. They can't be real. It's so wicked, so dark that there is a part of me that part of my mind can't even accept it, even though I know and have read up on how dark things have been, are now, and will become. Even at that, I still can't conceive in this little old brain of mine how someone could laugh. Literally, I'm not talking about, they're not talking about, joke, like literally laugh at the death of someone. Even when dictators, like communist dictators like Mao Zedong and from China, Adolf Hitler and others. I would say Adolf Hitler, okay, when supposedly he took his own life. I didn't hear anything from anyone, reading anyone, where anyone who opposed his worldviews laughed at his death. They may have, but I didn't see any. Yeah, I didn't see any or hear anything about it. And a person like Hitler, I could understand someone laughing at him, even though I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it, but I could understand it. Here is a man, regardless of how we perceive him, for those who are against him, okay? Let's say, for instance, he said something in his speeches, and I've listened to quite a few of his speeches just recently. I started honing in on the things that he's been saying and so forth on college campuses, and I'm like, yeah, man, I get it. And somebody could argue, well, yeah, Mr. Bowling, you're a conservative. But it's not just about being a conservative. It's about sense. It's about what makes sense. It's about which argument is the best argument, which argument stands on the best solid ground. And many of his arguments were very sound. They weren't things that people in the crowds that he was talking to readily agreed or liked, but that's okay. They were solid. You had to think about what he was saying. You had to. If you was really honest with yourself, if you wasn't disingenuous, if you wasn't the kind of person, I don't want to hear it, I don't want to hear it, and you was bothered by what he was saying. I listened to these clips of him, and I listened to some of these speeches, and they were pretty sound speeches. But to hear people and see people, black and white, make TikTok videos and Instagram videos and Twitter videos or whatever other videos, laughing at this man's death, laughing at his assassination, is beyond a political concept. In previous videos, I've said this is a part of the radical left. I don't know now. Someone said this in the commentary section of my one of my videos, I think the last one I made. They said we need to stop using the term radicalized and call it what it really is, evil. And you know what? Whoever made that comment, I agree with you. We have gone past radicalization of people into pure evil. Pure evil. That's where these people are. Now, you could argue that these people have been deceived. Yes, I get it. There surely is a level of deception there, no doubt. There's surely a level of deception. But it seems to me, after watching these videos, watching these Instagram videos, watching these TikTok videos, listening to these people, it seems to me that these people have moved past being radicalized, past being brainwashed, past being manipulated and deceived into an area of pure evil. It's like they have given themselves over to the dark side, to the point where they're almost demon possessed. And in my personal opinion, this is for those of you who are spiritual, who know the word of God, that I believe many of these people have opened themselves up to demonic spirits. I do believe in demonic spirits. I've been in the church for many, many years. I've seen demons cast out of people. I've cast out demons out of people myself. So I know demonic possession and demonic oppression and demonization is real. Okay? But in reference to these people, it's as if they have opened their minds and spirits to a dark force, and I personally believe they have. Either they open themselves up to it, or someone somewhere is doing rituals and opening up gateways and portals and sending evil spirits into people and just completely messing them up. We are at a point where this is more than the radical left, more than the quote unquote radical right, whatever that's supposed to mean. It has gotten to the point where either it's good or evil. What we're seeing here is evil. What we're hearing is evil. It's more than radicalization. It's evil. And it is encouraged and stoked by the mainstream liberal media, by some Democratic politicians, by more than likely some of these schools. The professors in a lot of these schools are stirring this type of psychology, this type of mentality up. And it's opening people up to a darkness that, if not checked, will create pure, utter chaos. I hate to be so cynical. I hate to be so dark, but it is what it is. Now, I've been hearing people say this. I've been hearing numerous YouTube content creators saying things such as people that's laughing at Charlie Kirk's assassination on their jobs, they should be fired from their jobs, they should be investigated, this type of thing. I get it, and I respect their view. The only problem with that is that if the government starts doing this, then we will end up resorting to what the left was doing to conservatives when Biden was in office. When people didn't want to get the vaccine, okay, they would being fired from their jobs, it was being canceled, they were being all this. This is what the left was doing to those who refused to get the vaccine, who refused to adhere to certain ideology. They were being canceled. Okay, well, we don't want to do the same thing. Those who are on the conservative side, I feel, in my opinion, let's not resort to that. Because then it'll be tit for tat. It'll be evil for evil. You did evil to us, we're going to do evil to you. It's revenge. And I don't believe in support revenge because it darkens the heart of the person who wants it. And other people get hurt in that quest to get revenge on people who did you wrong. In my opinion, I think what should be done is, and it's just my opinion, if you have someone that's making TikTok videos, if you know someone within your circle of friends or associates that's making TikTok videos or Instagram videos or whatever, and you know it, and they're on those videos laughing and dancing around. I've seen people dancing around, playing music in the background. I've heard people say things like, when he was shot, well, I hope that gun is okay. And that may sound comical, but that shows you how messed up people's minds are. I heard people say, man, when he got shot, like, do you see the blood coming up? And mocking the blood shooting up out of his neck, making fun of it. If you have someone like that in your inner circle you're associated with, it's my opinion. In my opinion, I think you should disassociate yourself from that person. Because that person has an evil spirit that has taken over their mind. They didn't show you how evil their mind was until this incident happened. To associate with someone like that, regardless of whether they've been deceived or radicalized, whatever, to associate with someone like that is to receive the same spirit. You hang around people like that long enough, and the next thing you know, you're going to be acting the same way. Because I personally believe that's a spirit. It is moved beyond, when I say spirit, I mean a demonic spirit. It is moved beyond being radicalized. It is moved beyond the radical left. It is moved beyond politics. It is moved into the spiritual realm. And to associate with someone like that, regardless of whether or not one agreed with Charlie Kirk or not, to associate with someone like that who literally laughs and mocks his death, you're going to pick up their spirit. See, my view is the opposite of, we need to investigate these people and fire them from their jobs. I don't think that's the issue, because then it's tit for tat. It's revenge. Let's do them how they did us when Biden was in office. No. We don't do that. It's not about revenge. It's about being, in my opinion, it's about being discerning. It's about being aware of who you're around. It's about being aware of who you associate with. Because I've been known, and let me say this, I want to make this record clear here. I've spoken a lot against certain liberal views. I have. And sometimes it comes off as being kind of like rough. Some people may consider it rough. Okay, so let me just clear the record here. Once again, I always when I'm saying these things, I always try to point out it's the radical left that's doing this. Okay. There are some liberals, and I've said this before, that I know that are cool. They're even atheists. I love them. Honestly, oftentimes with them, I'd rather be around them than anyone else because they don't come off with these fake pretenses. They don't come off as fake. They real. Hey, I don't believe in God and I don't believe in it, but hey, we can talk about movies. We can talk about this. We can talk about that, but that's just what I am. I don't believe in it. I respect that. Okay. So I've been around liberals and even atheists who are cool, some of the coolest people that I know. Okay. Here's my point. It's past the radical left. It's more now evil against good and evil. And there are a lot of liberals or people who associate with the left in terms of having liberal views who do not agree with rejoicing over this man, Charlie Kirk's death. They're like, man, what in the F is wrong with these people? I've heard some liberals say this in TikTok videos. What in the F is wrong with you people? I don't want to be associated with this no more. Now, I wouldn't tell them to leave the left. I mean, look, if you feel that way, I mean, if certain things I wouldn't say leave. Yeah, but on the other hand, if you do leave, that would be good, in my opinion. But I think it's more a matter of good versus evil, and evil's trying to overtake good. That's where we at right now. And that people on the left, I've heard them say, once again, in TikTok videos and so forth, that they don't agree with this evil. They are ticked off with people that's within their particular political party or group that's rejoicing over this man's death. They don't want to be associated with that. Let me say this, and I'm going to start summing this up. It's going to come to a point, if God don't shake this country up, if people don't wake up, it will be a matter of good versus evil. People on the left will start disassociating themselves with people that are demon possessed, who are so far left that they have opened themselves up to evil spirits. Yes, I'm putting that in there because I believe that, man. They have opened themselves up, and I don't just believe it, I know it. They have opened themselves up to demonic entities. And people who are on the left are going to start, as they are, disassociating themselves with these kind of people. And the people who are demon possessed and whose objection is dark and evil will come against those on the left who left their party, who left their group. They will associate the far demon-possessed people, who you could call the far, far, far left, okay? I'm exaggerating, obviously. Will look at people who were with them, liberals and those on the left, who left because of their extreme antics and consider them enemies. That will show you just how messed up they are. You're going to see it in the mainstream media. Now, here's the thing about the mainstream media. Let me say this about the mainstream media, the reporters, the journalists, the pundits, the mouthpieces that spin this type of stuff, that twist the stories and so forth, particularly when it comes to conservatives and Republicans. They are paid, and paid well. The issue with these people, and I hate what they're doing, but on the flip side of it, they're paid and paid well. It would be very difficult for them to cease from spreading the lies and propaganda about Trump and the lies and propaganda about Charlie Kirk and the lies and propaganda about conservatives and those who support Trump. It would be hard pressed for them to leave that and say, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm pretty sure some of them have, and I'm pretty sure some of them are contemplating that. But if you're getting $100,000 a freaking month, literally, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. And of course, It's the love of money is the root of all evil. Yeah. But when you don't, it's very, the radical left pays these people well, pays them well, pays them well. My heart goes out to them. My heart goes out to these reporters and journalists that's on the left, on MSNBC and CBS and ABC, because they get paid well. I hate what they do and say. It makes my stomach hurt. It's hard for me to really listen in what they're saying. But on the flip side of it, in all honesty, they're paid and paid well to spin the propaganda. Am I excusing them? No, not at all. Because you have to have some morals and ethics to say enough is enough. Enough is enough. We have helped contribute to the death of this man. Enough is enough with our rhetoric, with our spinning, with our lying, with our twisting of who Trump is and what he's doing, with our twisting of the Republican Party, with our twisting of those who support Trump and conservatives. That we have been stirring up the fire and the flames by calling Trump a fascist and Hitler, by calling his followers fascists and a part of the regime. We have been stirring these things up, and I'm tired, and I don't want to be a part of it anymore. There should be some moral compass within these particular reporters and journalists and mouthpieces and pundits on the mainstream liberal media. But because they're paid so well, I understand. I don't agree, but I understand. Because when they do that, they themselves are going to become enemies of the bigger plan. They're going to become, anyone that's on their side, when you decide to leave their side because it's too extreme, you're going to become an enemy, which shows you what that side is really all about. They're not about love and unity and tolerance and kindness and all of that. That's not what they're about. What they're about is purely dark, satanic, demonic, and it's beyond the pale. Yeah. So here's my answer. And let me start summing this up. Here is what, in my opinion, my answer is. Number one, for those of us that are watching this video that are Christians and believe in the power of prayer, let's continue to pray. I'm talking specifically to my Christian brothers and sisters that are watching this. Let's continue to pray. Let's ask God to send a revival in this country. At the same time, we have to also be physically ready. Because no matter how many people are saying, you know, well, you took Charlie Kirk's life and you think you stopped him and but now they're going around saying I'm Charlie Kirk, you know, which is kind of like when I saw the term I am Charlie Kirk and everybody saying they're Charlie Kirk now, I thought about The Walking Dead and Negan. And many of you are familiar with The Walking Dead, and many of you are familiar with Negan, who was considered to be one of the worst, one of the most brutal characters in the show. When some of his comrades were taken out, we know the story, and people that Rick and his followers in his group perceived to be a part of their group, then they weren't. These people would come out and say, or at least when they perceived that Negan was gone, these people would come out and say, I'm Negan. In other words, you may have took Negan out, but you didn't take him out. I'm Negan. It seems to me people now are starting to take that expression and use it as a way of saying, okay, you took out Charlie Kirk, but you didn't end the movement that he was trying to push. I'm Charlie Kirk. I get it. But this is deeper than taking a statement from a TV show and trying to use it and say you Charlie Kirk. First of all, I'm using myself. I'm not Charlie Kirk. I agree with Charlie Kirk. I liked him. He was my brother in Christ. He's with the Lord right now. But I'm not going to go out saying I'm Charlie Kirk. I'm a son of the Most High God. Spirit-filled. God controls my destiny. That's who I am. Not because of me, but because of Jesus Christ, who gave me his righteousness, who gave me his spirit, who gave me his word, the Holy Bible. I am a son of the Most High God, blood bought, washed, renewed, and transformed. That's who I am. I feel that taking that statement and saying I am Charlie Kirk is okay if you understand the spiritual implications of what that assassination was all about. This is a spiritual thing. It's deeper than politics. And if you're going to say you're Charlie Kirk and use that concept taken from The Walking Dead, okay, be sure you prayerful and be Charlie Kirk. Be him. He was bold. He was biblical. He was in your face. He didn't care. Okay, we're going to see. We're going to see if these people are saying this are mean business or if it's just an emotional fling. We're going to see. Because emotions is not what's going to solve the problem. There has to be a spiritual revival in this country. So let's end it up. Now, I promise you, I'm going to end it. My answer is this. This is my answer. This is my opinion, what we should do. Prepare ourselves. Keep praying. Those of us that believe in prayer, keep praying. Pray that God sends a revival in this country. But also prepare physically. And you know what I mean. Arm yourselves. I'm not pushing violence, but I'm just being real with you. Arm yourselves. Arm your churches. Arm your homes. Because what I'm seeing is more and more division with statements like, I'm Charlie Kirk. That's cool to some extent. But all I'm seeing is more division being formed. Because I guarantee you, the mainstream liberal media is going to take that, if they haven't already, and say, oh, here's the MAGA crowd, the ultra MAGA crowd, the far right, the far radical right. That's how they're going to label that. They're not going to label it as people saying anything other than that I just said. They're going to label it as a radical group of people. And all that's going to do is foster more division in the country and foster more bitterness against groups. That's all that's going to do. I hope I'm wrong, but I guarantee you, if the mainstream liberal media latches hold to that concept of I am Charlie Kirk, they're going to twist it. They're going to twist it, I guarantee you. And all that's going to do is foster more division. And all I'm saying is people, sensible people, get ready. Arm yourselves. Unless God himself send a revival in this country and completely change the trajectory of everything, it's coming. It's coming. Arm yourselves. That's all I'm going to say about that. But yeah, that's what I had to say about that. What do you guys think about this? What do you guys think about these people laughing and stuff like this? Do you think it's spiritual? Do you think it's ratification, radicalization, or both, or what, or whatever? You know, I could go into other concepts and ideas of what this could be as well. But I don't have the time here in this video, and I don't want to expose too much because, you know, hey, I got to use wisdom too. Yeah, but what do you guys think? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Like, share, subscribe to my channel. God bless you all. See you again.